y'all, this is Marley K. Hope everybody is well. Got something that I want to share with you, and I have some thoughts about it. So I'm going to read this story from the Washington Examiner. It's very timely, so we really need to pay attention to this story because I think there's a reason behind this truth coming out now. So I don't know if you've been hearing about the hearings about Dr. Fakey and how he was promoting the lollipops and the things that they did. Like they knew that this stuff was a gene therapy, but they just did not um, tell us the truth. Basically, what's being exposed is the government lied to the people about this stuff that they gave us, and they knew that they were lying. And here it is 3 4 years later, the truth is coming out right before the election, right before the next big thing is coming out. But why now? Why are they telling us now? Is it because perhaps they know the next lollipop and lockdown ain't gonna go as planned, so they got a plan B, which is gonna be war and different type of lockdown for climate? Perhaps. So let's get into it. Former National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease Director, which is the NIH, um, uh, Director Dr. Anthony Fauci has already been caught lying about COVID-19 many times. And if you want to read this article, it will be in the description section. And just click on the link because where it says caught lying many times, it's highlighted. So you'll have context for these statements. Now, newly released emails from his longtime colleague, Dr. David Morans, a senior advisor at the a senior advisor to the director at the National Institutes of Health, show a broad-based conspiracy, including involvement from disgraced Department of Health and Human Services contractor Dr. Peter Daszak, to cover up the trio's role in facilitating gain of function research at China's Wuhan Institute of Virology. The 150 emails released by the House Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic show Morans knowingly and intentionally attempted to conceal evidence embarrassing to himself, Fauci, and Daszak. Now just think, Dr. Fauci was on the news begging black people to go take this stuff. Um, and y'all know he's a Khazar. I'm just going to put that out. Pay attention to the names of these people who are involved in this stuff. Last names will tell you everything you need to know about who they are. It also tells you why we are targeted. They know who we are. That's why they offered it to us first. That's why they're trying to get it into Africa so they can get rid of as many Africans as they can because they're ready to colonize that continent all over again. And they need to get rid of us and keep the rest of us scared and in captivity so they can continue to rule over us. So it says the 150 emails released by the House Select Committee on the Coronavirus Pandemic shows Morans knowingly and intentionally attempted to conceal evidence embarrassing to himself, Fauci, Daszak. Daszak. So it says these efforts included deleting sensitive emails, conducting official business on a private email account, and strategically misspelling keywords to escape the reach of the Freedom of Information Act. And I watched some of these hearings. It was like, what? How do you not know this? Because they teach us this. I'm a subcontractor. And when I was federally funded, when I worked for nonprofit organizations or government entities that receive federal funding and state funding, like you have to do certain things because your email, and you have to be careful about what you put in emails because they can be FOIA'd. So these people have been working for the government for 40, 50 years, and they're saying they didn't know about FOIA. And they used back channels to have communication. So they were intentionally being deceptive. I learned from our NIH FOIA lady here how to make emails disappear after I am FOIA, but I am FOIA'd, but before the search starts. So I think we're all safe, Morris wrote in one email. So the government people teaching people how to evade FOIA. Get out of here. So even that, like, it just is mind boggling to me that these doctors were dumb enough to put this in emails. Plus, I deleted most of the earlier emails after sending them to Gmail. The emails also suggest Fauci was knowingly involved in the cover up, with Morris claiming he could help Fauci avoid FOIA accountability. And that's Freedom of Information Act when they say FOIA. They are looking for information like sunshine laws. We're looking for truth. We want to read stuff for ourselves. We don't just want to believe what you tell us. So we want you to give us this information because we know you have to communicate and you have to maintain these communications. Well, why is this information coming out now? I can either send stuff to Tony on his private Gmail or hand it to him. So if you hand it to him, there's no record of nothing. You just print it off, you give it to somebody, you don't say nothing. And like if you want to be deceptive, there are a lot of ways you could be deceptive if you're doing something wrong. You working for a governmental entity. And this is what it basically shows. So it says the emails also show that Morris previously lied to the committee. Previously, Morins had testified under oath that he did not recall discussing DASAC's grants from NIAID to the Wuhan Institute of Virology with Fauci. So they were making grants to create these bioweapons that they've been unleashing on us for the last couple of years and then acting like they don't know where in the hell they come from. In his testimony Wednesday, Morris admitted that was false. I certainly told him some things that he had asked me to tell him about the situation with Peter Daszak, Morris testified. So all these people just lying. That's why you can't trust these folks. This is why people not gonna take nothing that they offer the next time, because now you're seeing that the government actually sponsored the the grant that was used to experiment with the virus that later became C-19, and that no, it was a lab leak from China, then allowed to spread all over the world and make most of us sick. Or that's the story that they tell. But anyway, we're finding out that it's a lie. But why now? And that people or nations who are supposed to be enemies ain't really enemies because they work together to do stuff against us. So that's the truth in all this is that ain't no good guys, ain't nobody good, ain't no nation gonna save us. Everybody is in on it. It's a confederacy against all of us. So that is a lot of conspiring to cover up Daszak and Fauci's role in funding gain of function research on coronaviruses in Wuhan. A previous FOIA inquiry exposed Fauci's effort to quash any investigations into whether COVID-19 came from the Wuhan lab. I just wanted to say a personal thank you on behalf of our staff and collaborators for publicly standing up and stating that the scientific evidence supports natural origin for COVID-19 from bat to human spillover, not a lab release from the Wuhan Institute of Virology. EcoHealth Alliance President Daszak wrote to Fauci on April 18th, 2020. It's 2024, y'all. Daszak would go on to organize a letter from 27 scientists, 27 liars, from around the world strongly condemning the conspiracy theories, which is now not a conspiracy theory. Now they're telling us this is where it came from. And we've been labeled conspiracy theorists, called crazy for being suspicious. We have been ostracized by family and friends. Even when we saw people pass away, even when we were suspicious, people getting sick right after they got the lollipops, and it was like, oh, ain't nothing wrong with them. That's just your imagination. What? They was fine. They had high blood pressure, but they was walking around being great. Then all of a sudden, gone. But you crazy. Hmm. Since the Chinese Communist Party has thwarted an independent investigation into the origins of COVID 19, we may never know definitely if the virus escaped from the Wuhan lab, where Fauci and Daszak supported gain of function research into coronaviruses. And so, gain of function research is basically where they are allowed to go in and tinker, or basically gain of control of a virus. So, you're controlling what that virus does. You can make it more lethal. It could be something that's just, you could get from some animal, because these things come from animals, and then you put it in a lab and you play with it and you test it and you make it deadly and you save it. And what they do with these things is they unleash them when they are going to war on a nation, and they unleash it among the people and make the people sick. Well, the whole world now is at war. We are all in this war, and most people don't realize it. Like we've been impacted by this bioweapon, and they have more. Like, wait, there's more. We have more things they're going to unleash on us. They're telling us that the next thing we unleash on you is going to be 10 times more deadly. Or I read someplace that disease X is going to be 50 times more lethal than COVID. How the hell you know? What's the how y'all know? How would you know? Unless you made it. You made it, so you know is what it's going to do to us. And so, just like they did with the lollipop when the C-19 first came out, like we was sick, but we was living. I got sick a couple times. I was sick, but and I had some health issues, but I didn't perish. But you know who was perishing? Children of the corn. Children of the corn perished more when the virus was just out, and they were perishing more after they got the lollipop. They perished more than we did. And so whatever they're doing is not working. It gets some of us, but they never get all of us. And that's what they hate. So they're going to continue to come after us. So that's why it's going to be really important for you to pay attention to what they're doing. And even with, these revelations, why are they coming out now? Like, we got to question that. Why? Is it because they know we ain't going for the okie doke this next time? So they're going to have to try something else. So we might as well go ahead and tell them the truth. Yeah, we lied. Yeah, we made up some stuff. Yeah, y'all had gene therapy. We didn't do what we are supposed to do. But too bad. The next thing coming out, we're gonna do better. We already got it ready for y'all. As soon as we unleash this other stuff, it's ready for y'all to go take. What? Who taking that? Ain't nobody taking nothing them people give you. If you take something them people give you, you are crazy. Even if it's your regular, I would just be suspicious of everything now. I ain't trying to take nothing them folks. I'm not. I'm just not. You just gotta be wise as a serpent. And they're telling you why you should be wise as a serpent, and folks will still sit here and argue with you. I got boosted 25 times. You did, fool. Oh, good luck to you. Don't you go and get no more of that stuff with your fool self. The Lord still got you walking around here. You still talking about getting more boots. And then they done told you it don't work. And you still won't believe the people who made it told you it don't work and it's not going to spare you. And you still doing it. Like, how crazy. So anyways, it says, But we can ensure our tax dollars do not fund any research in conjunction with CCP ever again. And we should also hold those accountable who have lied and attempted to cover up their cooperation with China's communist regime. So I feel I feel like this is coming out now because they know they're not going to be able to use this method to take people out. So they always have a plan B, C, and D. So I think they're going to go to plan B. Plan B is war and famine. And now I don't doubt we're gonna get some pestilences. Whatever they've concocted in labs they unleash on us, it's gonna get us, it's gonna get some of us, it's gonna take some of us, probably a lot of us out. But they won't be able to get us with lollipops no more because people are waking up to the fact that hey, they lied to us. The truth tellers are telling the truth. And shout out to the truth tellers, all the physicians and people in healthcare who stood their ground, and the people who learned the truth late and believed in medicine and believed in science, and our educators and physicians, practicing physicians who just decided they were going to tell the truth and put their professional lives on the line. Shout out to those people because they didn't have to do any of that, but they did. And it makes life better for us. So I think that we again, we really need to pay attention. We need to have ears to hear, eyes to see, and make sure that you are not getting in the way of their swords. Say it like that. All right, y'all. Link will be in the description to this with a couple of other links about this ridiculous committee hearing where this guy just basically admitted to lying. Now he's worked for NIH for 49 years and act like he didn't know how to do FOIA. He showed you he knew all about FOIA and he knew how to avoid it. So they lie, but the truth is coming out slowly but surely. So, you have to understand that sometimes justice is slow. Sometimes the truth, takes a while to come out, but it eventually comes out. So just have patience. Have patience, have patience. All right, y'all. This is Marley K. Love y'all, and I'm out.